You know what sound that is, folks. You betcha. It's another Noon Whistle, a special holiday edition coming at you live on December 22nd. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone, and we have Elkhorn Chamber Executive Director Chris Clapper with us this morning. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Great background today. Where are you at?
I am in Santa's workshop here at the Elkhorn Chamber. Last week we had Let It Glow, and this is where Santa and Mrs. Claus greeted children of the Elkhorn community.
I probably shouldn't ask. Yeah. Are you on the naughty or the nice list?
Absolutely the nice list, John. Come on.
That's what I figured. Well, we got some fun things going on today. Chris Trottier took the lead on being the technical director today. We got some photos to show. We got some video, March of Time back from Elkhorn. And we're going to talk kind of holidays and Elkhorn as a Christmas card town and maybe how that's evolved or why some of these things are what they are.
Yeah, it's as I've been here almost 15 years, and it's been a learning experience about all the different traditions that were transpired in the Elkhorn community. The March of Times, I know we're going to show a little part of that video. That is really cool. I encourage people to go out. It's out on YouTube. You can find it. It just depicts in the 1950s of our community and just some traditions and how we became the Christmas card town.
Should we show that right now?
Well,
yeah, let's show a little clip. Let's show the beginning. How's that?
All right, here we go.
Here we are this looks
from
like
the
the water
highest
tower.
point in Elkhorn, the platform around its water tower, the city seems asleep on this bleak winter's day. But below on its main street, the morning's activities have already begun. Editor Eames starts a busy day by making the rounds of potential news sources.
Frank Ames, an icon.
The first signs of the holiday season are making their appearance at Elkhorn's main intersection, the corner of Wisconsin and Walworth Streets, where the evergreen garlands and Christmas bells are going into place. Each year, the city takes the lead in holiday preparations, and the putting up of street decorations is quickly followed by the arrival of wreaths and holly and Christmas gifts in the shop windows along the main street.
John, wouldn't it be cool to be able to recreate that downtown?
As usual, Eames
I would love to recreate that garland, bell,
hoping to pick up an item for his weekly column.
Point.
Reuben has been in business here 6 years.
Maybe we can.
The churches are another important focus for community life and
Maybe we
sponsor
could
many
talk
of
the
its
city
social
into that, huh?
activities.
That'd be cool.
Elkhorn's residential areas are clean and well kept. The family of Robert McGill, a contractor, is representative of the young people who have been attracted to the city. Mary Jane McGill's family has grown since she came to Elkhorn 6 years ago. The McGills now have 2 children, a boy, Kirk, 2 years old, and McGill's favorite, a daughter, Diane, who is 6. They live in a new home, which McGill built just 2 years ago.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's so interesting in some of the names. You know, they talk about Frank Ames and McGill, and I know as it goes on, there's more. And yeah, just all that history. Like you say, the bell. I always remember that as a kid being a focal point when you came through town. That there was the bell hanging there.
You know, I never saw it in real life, but I did have that conversation with Mike Lang, who was head of the electric, and I believe the DPW all was combined at one time, and he's like, oh my gosh, Chris, that was such a job to get that up. But once it was up, he was relieved. It was a sight. And I know that I've actually talked to the city about trying to recreate that. And unfortunately, you know, over the times, poles have changed that how it would have to be hooked up and things like that. But if anything ever changed downtown where we could recreate that, I think that would be so cool.
That would. Do you know how or when it all started that they called Elkhorn the Christmas card town? Or
I do. It all started back in 1952. The March of Times, the city of Elkhorn was picked to depict a small town community. And it was actually just a video. And then the Ford Motor Company in 1958 hired an artist, and her name was Cecil Johnson. She came out to the Elkhorn community, and the rumor has it, I've never been able to solidify it, that one of the executives for the Ford Motor Company had a home on Lauderdale. So that's why it came to Elkhorn, because he loved the downtown square. So there were 6 original pictures painted by Cecil Johnson. We have all duplicated those pictures. We have 4 out of the 6 original paintings. The 5th was destroyed in the 6th somehow, and the 6th has never been found.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's amazing.
Maybe the noon whistle is a plea for if anybody has number 6.
Exactly.
Bring it to
It has
us.
to exist somewhere. I
Right?
would hope. Hopefully not in some thrift shop somewhere for $2, you know.
Well, it could have been someone bought it at a rummage sale for, $2 and has it in their basement and puts it out during Christmas or something and doesn't even realize.
You know who can find that? John Henderson can find
Is
it.
there-
He's a fellow Rotarian. Let's make sure he can.
That's true.
That is very true. Just so those ones that we do have, the originals, they are sometimes on display at the Elkhorn Matheson Memorial Library. They run out of wall space. We love to depict those photos, and then that kind of leads into the next part. In the chamber here in 1996, commissioned a local artist. Her name was Jan Castle Reed. She did 15 years of cards for us. All of the prior years are available for sale here in the chamber office. And right now, Chris has brought up, this is our 2023 Christmas card, which is available here at the chamber and a few other locations like Friends on the Square.
Chris, what building is this? I'm having trouble figuring it out.
This is the old Knights of Columbus building off of Broad Street. It's part of the church.
So the corner of Broad and Walworth there next to the church?
That is correct.
Okay.
Correct. We had picked this building as one of our cards to be depicted this year because there possibly are plans for that building to come down if St. Pat's puts up an addition. This card was commissioned by an artist that we started in 2012. His name is Tim Carson, T. James Carson. He's been doing it for the past 12 years. And I think, Chris, we have a couple other of the last 4 years. So this is our 22 card. This represents the Getson Band Company. This is the Elkhorn's workshop, kind of a depicting of the workshop back in the days. We try to put some wordplay on some of our cards here. And in 21, that is arriving home for the holidays.
The old depot, huh?
This is the old depot. Down off behind Wilson's Farm Meats. The depot is still there. The building across from it is what is called the Pea Cannery. It looks a little different now, but yes, this is how it looked back then. You know, you came in on the train and somebody was waiting for you with horse and buggy, or you were fortunate enough to live close enough you even walked. So,
well, thankfully for Gary Wallum, that depot building is pretty close to what it looks like in this picture still today.
It is. So, and then in 2020, we did He's Making a List and Checking It Twice. This is in memory of Gary Wallum, who was an icon here in the Elkhorn community and very much an eclectic and vibrant person that he was, and was our Santa for many, many years. He unfortunately passed away in 2019, and this is in his memory because he always wanted to keep Elkhorn close to his heart, and he loved this community.
However you felt about Gary, Gary had Elkhorn in his mind first, and he did so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. Where the Elkhorn Chamber is located, the building is very unique with all of the murals, and the building across the street, the Elkhorn Garage. They are definitely focal points of our community, and we have him and his wife.
Yeah,
for that.
You would never say this, but you guys at the chamber, you and Kate, who is your assistant, do so much to keep the holiday spirit alive, along with so many other things. But there's a lot of things going on between the parade and the visit with Santas and the Let It Glow and so credit to you guys for keeping all this alive with the Christmas cards and everything else.
Yeah, I know. We're very excited about it. And it's always a challenge to kind of come up with an iconic new card. So if anybody in our community has any ideas for, just stop in the chamber office or, shoot us an email or anything like that, because sometimes, as we are in the community, we get blinders on and we forget, unique places. We've tried to highlight, a lot of the unique buildings, events, kind of try to in turn make them into a Christmas card that people will purchase and carry on. So,
Chris, what do you think? Another little clip of the March of Time so we can see what happened back then?
Yeah, let me cue it up here. I'm on the,
Yeah, no, you've done a great job on the technical side.
Well, back in college, I used to be on the turntables, so this is not really. I don't know where that.
DJ Trotz, is that coming back?
Yeah, that's what I am. All right, here we go. Let's see if I can screw this up. Here we go. You ready?
Here we go. All right, so the recycling center
which
now
handles 10 million gallons a year. The modern Klebe Tool and Die Company, a branch of the A.O. Smith Corporation, which builds the Harbor Store silo.
So that's Palmer Hamilton
the
now.
Paper Building Materials Supply Company, and the Elkhorn Chemical Company. But the manufacture of band instruments is Elkhorn's biggest industry, with a payroll well over $500,000 annually. Frank Holton and Company is the biggest factory in the area, employing 165 workers. The spinning of bells for the bass horn is the job of Howard Tess.
Now, is it true that the Holton Company, the neighborhood on Church and Broad, was a result of housing the employees?
Drawing it out with a steady, even pressure to its proper bell shape. Another old-timer who first went to work for Holton in Chicago back in 1912 is Axel Madsen. He cuts what are called the stems for various kinds of horns. Each instrument is carefully checked before it goes to the
What's amazing is horns are still
Arvid
made like
Walters
that.
is the company's chief instrument tester and design engineer. He is testing a trumpet against a chromatic stroboscope, whose lights indicate the trueness of tone.
And our Holton band is still alive and well.
They do. They do the summer concert series, and they just had their holiday concert at the high school.
Ted Binger, who also leads the Elkhorn City Band, is the
Sarah Woodkey is the director of that now.
The night brought a light covering of snow, but along the streets much of it is blown away. Despite a cold wind, children on their way home from school are drawn irresistibly to the windows of the shops with their exciting displays of Christmas toys. Their eager faces reflect the timeless hopes and yearnings of childhood. At this hour of the day, the only shoppers along the streets are housewives.
Chris, I think we might have to cut it off a little bit and encourage people to search March of Time, Elkhorn March of Time, and
another light covering of snow.
Looks like we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of history, and I know there's some people that don't understand it because they've moved in, and maybe we don't do such a great job of getting that information out there. But we the city, along with the DPW, always decorates the square down at the Veterans Park, the middle of town. And we do a tree lighting on that Friday night, and then the Santa's reception on Saturday's the Christmas parade, and then Santa comes back Saturday night, and he's back here Sunday night. That was all the first weekend in December. So everybody needs to enjoy and shop local and enjoy the holiday season.
Agree.
So when Santa comes back, let's talk about Santa. Let's go back in time here. Let's close this with your favorite Christmas gift ever.
Oh, ever?
Yeah, ever. I know, John, any coal in your stockings back in the day?
Oh, there's been a couple years
yeah.
I've been on the edge of getting coal. I don't know that I've officially ever got any, but I've been close.
Like licorice I received.
Yeah, my stocking had a little black around it, and I know they were going to do it, but my favorite Christmas present, I would have to go back to, I was probably maybe a first grader, maybe even a kindergartner. I don't know. I was young, and we were at my grandparents', and I got a brand new Schwinn bike with the high bars and the banana seat.
Oh my gosh.
I remember looking at it and going, all right, my favorite. Who's next?
Chris, who do you got? What do you got?
Okay, this is going to date me, but when you were like, I can't remember if it was like 5th or 6th grade, this is dating me, but we all went roller skating, on Friday or Saturday night. And
nice.
my dad had a Ford station wagon panel. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know how many like 5th and 6th graders you can get in that panel station wagon?
Facing
and
the
we
back
had to go
too.
Yep. And it had the seats in it.
Yeah.
I got my very own roller skates.
Oh,
I did not have to rent roller skates anymore.
You were big time.
I was big time. And I thought I was the queen of the rink. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, you were. You were.
Hey, and do you remember you used to put, like, I call them the little puff balls, the little round balls. You put those on your skates. And I remember getting them. And one of my one had a red one and one had a green one.
All right, so here's mine.
All right, bring it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So do you remember Saturday morning cartoons?
Yeah.
I mean, you literally get up and watch all the cartoons. Well, my favorite cartoon was Godzilla.
Really?
Favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, because remember, people don't realize that Godzilla, how far back do those movies go? I mean, they're old. Well, they made it in a cartoon, and I just thought that was the coolest thing because I was into dinosaurs, and this guy came out of the water and can spit fire. Like, this is cool. And my parents, Santa brought me a full rolling. He had wheels on his feet. You could roll him. He was about 3 feet tall, and he had a lever on the back. And he could spit fire, like a little thing went out of his, like a tongue, and it looked like fire. So yeah, it was crazy. But yeah. So
you remember those toys? You made me think of. Remember the Evel Knievel motorcycle that you could wind them up and jump the.
Well, Chris, thanks for being on. I think this is your 3rd time. You're competing with John Handel. You and John Handel are running neck and neck. It's interesting to have 2 Lake Geneva Badger grads, right? Forefront nudging.
Did you know that we went to school together? I.e., he's older than me.
What class was John Handel?
Yeah, John Handel's older than me.
Yeah, was he 1980 what?
I think he
4,
would be,
right?
No, he'd be 3 or 2.
What were you?
I was 85.
85. Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right. All right. Well, Chris, thanks for coming on. Thanks for telling this amazing story of Elkhorn. I thank you to the chamber. I just think it's so important that we continue our city's story that is so connected to our schools and our economic development, and this really gives us our identity. So go ahead, Chris.
Yeah,
it does, and and I'm just an individual that gets to facilitate that and hopefully carry that on. and we look to always expand it. So if you have any ideas, reach out to us here at the Chamber. We'd love to talk.
Work together for the better.
And
Yep.
on that note, everybody have a happy holiday season. Be safe. Enjoy your family. Be thankful for that, everything you have. Enjoy your happy new year. And students, enjoy some time off if you're watching. And it's time to go back to work. So you know
All right.
what we got to play.
Take care.
All
you guys.
right. Thanks, guys. Bye.